Ever diagnosed with any type of like mental illness or any type of diagnosis, any type of learning disability, anything like that?
I have a crazy problem.
You
All right. Welcome, y'all. Welcome, kings and queens. Man, welcome and happy Tuesday to everybody. Thank you for pulling up to the palace. If you are new here, welcome. Listen, we got some things to talk about. And when I say some things, I mean some things, y'all. Just when we thought we came off the hills of a beautiful, wonderful Thanksgiving, people are giving thanks all around the world. You're having people that are having first time moments, intimate moments, keeping a low profile, right? Coming off the heels of the holiday. I am thankful for A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then boom, we ain't even into December, the first full week of December. And here we go. Funky Dineva decides to open back up Pandora's box for whatever reason and get the shit started back up again. Now, some of you are like, wait a minute. Now, here's the thing, y'all. Here's the thing. Can't nobody regulate nobody. Can't nobody tell nobody what they can and cannot say on the podcast. And I think that's where a lot of times people get into trouble because you're too busy being distracted by things that you should have put behind you years ago, weeks ago, months ago. And here we are today for what? What's the reason? I mean, it's juicy for me because I'm going to talk about it. Wow. The streets are talking. You said what? I know you didn't. So I'm going to get what I can get off of it. And so are the viewers. But at the end of the day, it's not a good look. And I see you, Nicole. Nicole, listen, you say he kept that secret well. She tries him. I'm not going to say she tries him because nobody should have to go and walk around eggshells and say, well, I can't say this because he or she is aware that I have some things going on, honey. I was outside. And if I even trigger this person in the slightest, because it was the slightest to say that I gave a friend. Now, we talking about grown-ups, right? We're talking about grown-ups. We're all grown. We're not talking about kids going back and forth. We're talking about grown-ups. We're talking about celebrities. We're talking about bloggers. We're also talking about self-regulation, self-control, the ability to let it go, to move on. There's so many different dynamics here. And here's the scary part about me covering this. I don't care how I slice it and dice it. Some of you are still going to hear and see what you hear and see. I'm not here to change anybody's mind. I'm not here for team A, B, C. I'm not here for team Tamar or team Funky. I'ma just hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience. What does that mean? If you're new to the channel, welcome. I am Queen Sheba. I cover a variety of hot topics specific to reality television, but most importantly, I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience. And if you want to go deep, then you're in the right place. I appreciate you pulling up, but we're about to break down what the streets are talking about today. Because, baby, today, Funky Dineva is the streets. And he is talking. And he said a lot last night. And I'm glad I kind of waited because there's been some other people that have come out and piled on. And it's very interesting because at the end of the day, whatever side of the fence you choose to sit on, for those of you that are tuned in, right? It ain't really no right or wrong in this. It's we see what we want to see. Let me say that again. We all see what we want to see. If you're looking for a reason to go off, you're going to find one. If you're looking for a reason to move the hell on and close the damn door quietly and say, you know what, I don't fool with Tamar, then you're going to find a reason to move on and close the door quietly and go to hell about your business. But if you're looking for a reason to spin the block because you feel like the first time you addressed the issue at hand didn't really hit and do what it needed to do, then you're going to find a reason to spin the block. So I stand behind what I say when I say we see what we want to see. Can y'all get with that? Do y'all understand where I'm coming from? At no time should any human being ever attempt to hold another one hostage because you got secrets and you know what the bodies are and the bodies are buried. Because in one aspect, I get that as a blogger. And when Funky Dineva, baby, when I tell you he tore up them streets last night and he dropped a bomb, he dropped a bomb. Now, when I say there's dynamics to this, let me write it down. There's the dynamicism of Funky being a blogger. Okay? Just being a blogger. That's what bloggers do. That's what most bloggers do. They find out some information on you and they may hold it and then drop it when you least expect it. Do you feel like last night Funky was performing as a blogger or as an individual? That's my first question. There's Funky the blogger. The second aspect is you have Q, who lives in ATL, who relocated back to Atlanta for opportunities from Miami, right? And if people start to feel like that they can't trust you when you're mad, it may limit your reach and your opportunities in Atlanta because this is different. I'm not saying Tamar's right or wrong. I don't even know it's true, if it's true, right? We can't assume because he said it is true. I don't know, but we're going to talk about it. And that's another thing I want you to consider. Just because somebody says something, don't make it true. Don't make it false, but doesn't make it true either. So now you have Funky exposing some hot ass tea, right? We got to agree, it's some good tea. But at the same time, now, Funky Dineva, I think you may have complicated things just a little bit. You've introduced a slight complication because this is more than you going at a woman. Now you're on the streets as a man telling another man's business. Are y'all following? Telling another man's business. Mendeecees is a street guy. He know he's married. Tamar know he's married. And with niggas and men, there is a code. And I'm not sure how that works if you're gay. But most niggas don't really like it when you get out there talking their business. And I know this was one that he specifically crafted for Tamar. But Mendeecees, if this is true, is going to feel some kind of way. So now you've crossed, and not to say he should be scared. We're just talking. We hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience. Now we've crossed into this blurred line of, hold on now. Whoa, it's one thing to go toe to toe with Tamar. It's another thing to tell another man's business. Is that something that they just say the girls are fighting? Is that something where you're going to get checked on the next time he sees you out? How is Mendeecees going to handle this, whether it's true or not true? Because now it becomes an issue. And when most men encounter issues, they like to solve them. Ask women. Ask the women that live with men. When you can't open a jar, he gets up, he opens it for you. May not say a lot. You start complaining about stuff around the house, 9 times out of 10, begrudgingly, he may get up and he go, and fix it to shut you up. Thank you, Health World. Heal the World. 777 says so true. So now you've introduced some funky dynamics into this funky mess when you could have just been quiet. And I find myself seeing this trend and this pattern with Funky Dineva where it's like, we would not have known. Now, we like to know though. Yeah, I did the faint picture. You said it's the faint picture of Mendeecees for me. Yeah, I did that on purpose. Here's the thing that keeps showing up. Funky, on Mad Day, there are things you tell us and we eat up. But if the truth be told, most of us would not know had you not said anything.
Listen at me and listen at me clearly. If you don't want me coming for you, then just stop fucking coming for me, okay?
And that's just it. But you can't hold this girl hostage and say every time you even say, because he's holding true. Now, if you go back to the initial fallout between Tamar and Funky Dineva, it happened a few months ago, August, September, October, actually about 90 days ago, right? There was just this mess. They went out, they had a good time. You've seen the footage. We've covered it before. The next morning, Tamar woke up fuzzy, couldn't remember what happened to her. She was bleeding. Teeth were knocked out of her mouth. Now, we covered it over here, okay? It doesn't take a scientist to figure out somebody knocked your shit out. Excuse my language. It doesn't take a scientist to figure out it was probably a man. I believe Funky Dineva when he said, listen, we got in the car, we went back to her house. No, we got in the ride. He said the driver, whatever he said made me believe there was an Uber. So now we know we were correct. There was an Uber. He said we got in the car. We went back. I did not go back upstairs. And when he said I did not go back upstairs, that led me to believe that Tamar went back upstairs with somebody. Okay. Funky Dineva also initially stated, listen, you better be careful with me because I'm trying to protect your mental health. And I'm also, I don't want to air you out. He said, I'm trying to protect your something about your medical records. And I don't want to air you out. Okay. You put 2 to 2 together. We just trying to figure out who's up there. For the most part, we guessed Mendeecees. I had a source to confirm that. But okay, we talked about it slightly. We left it where it was, like Funky should have left it where it was. Tamar saying she don't know. Y'all were saying she was sleepwalking. Ain't no way in hell. Maybe a tooth. And if you've had this sleeping condition all your life, you ain't never lost a tooth. I didn't believe it, but okay, that's what she's going on. But we know something happened. Our recommendation was, listen, if you really want to know what happened to you, pull them Uber receipts, pull the videotapes. Uber get that to you in 24 hours. So we said, maybe you don't want to know, but hey, it's your party, not mine. And if you don't want to know, we gonna leave it there. He came back. Tamar sat down recently and did a podcast interview and slightly made an inference towards him. And yes, we knew who she was talking about. But it wasn't anything dark. Now, I can't tell grown folks what to do or not do, but he decided that it was enough for him to air her the F out. And that's exactly what he did. And he's free to do that. But there's always repercussions of it, whether it's true or not true. That's true. Okay, Nikki Baby says, hold on, let me read this. Nikki Baby 9025 says, what Tamar came to the internet with did not make sense. She allowed social media to run with the narrative that she did not clear up. So all is fair. In my opinion, she has to change who she's moving with. I can agree with that. Here's the thing, Nikki. You make a good point. Tamar came to the internet. It didn't make sense. But watch this. Many of you don't like Tamar. And y'all claim she never makes sense. So why would this time be any different than others? So we all just left it alone. We all say, oh, that's Tamar. Okay. And left it alone. Am I right, y'all? So now all of a sudden, to qualify what he's doing by going off on her, this one time we needed her to make sense when we've never required that of her before, because a lot of you have weaponized her mental health against her. She crazy, she this, she that. So all of a sudden she needs to now make sense. When according to y'all, she's never made sense. Tamar does this for attention. Tamar, that's just Tamar. And we left it alone. We said, child, that's just Tamar. That's what we said. Tamar talking about something, but Tamar always talking about something. That's what we did. Funky clicked his button and connected the dots. What? Wait a minute, Funky. And then he added a little Tony Satchers, a little Cajun spicy hot. That lady. I don't know what happened, whether it's a little how you talk or not. We picked up what you were putting down, that there was some discord. There may have been a little bit of tension. And now that he's spun the block and come back, it sounds like you've already felt some way. So I'm going to agree with Nikki Baby that Tamar did come to the internet. It really did make a lot of sense. We're like, girl, if you're not going to tell us, move on. And we moved on. Tamar does need to change how and with who she's moving, but so does he. Because if you don't like people, don't fuck with them. If you don't like people, what are we doing? So the same standard in the bar that we're expecting her to cross, we need him too. Because it's a real bad look when you're the only one doing that much talking about people's business. If you are indeed not crazy. See, you got to let crazy do crazy. And according to y'all, Tamar's crazy, then let crazy do crazy. But I haven't heard y'all call him crazy. So if Funky ain't crazy, I expect him to act differently. But you know why? Because you don't like her. You never have, never will. And we can tell that. You say, I didn't want to go. That wasn't about me. You felt some kind of way. We saw it in your face. You never liked her. You shouldn't have went out. That's why I don't understand y'all that hang out with people you really don't like. I know she asked you, sir, but you're a grown-ass man. And you could have said no. And when you didn't know, when you didn't say no, I don't want to go, I really didn't want to be there, then don't go. That's what grown-ups do. Child, it's a late notice. Baby, anything you want to do to celebrate me, please give me enough time so that I can put on a nice hoodie and you done woke me up out of my bed, girl. I was already happy. Say no. Say no. But don't go and have a sourpuss face all night. Don't go and then talk shit the next day. Don't go and then throw shade and make it her fault. So there has to be a level of accountability on both sides. That's all I'm saying. Now let's get into the thick of it. So Tamar is saying she don't know what happened. That didn't make sense when she came back out. She said, I still don't know. I still don't remember. I don't know if I believe that. But guess what? It is what it is. And maybe the best thing for her psychologically is to forget what happened. Because if what Funky Dineva is saying is true and Mendeecees was up there, listen, that's what I'm saying. This is crazy. This is messy. If what you're saying is true and Mendeecees and his boys were really up there and they fucked Tamar up like that, what do you think they would do to you for talking? If he would do that to somebody he's sleeping with, allegedly, what do you think he would do to you? That's all I'm saying. If we dealing with those type of men that can sleep with a woman when he's married, cheat on his wife, have an affair with the likes of a Tamar Braxton, knock her teeth out, leave her for dead in her own house, close the door quietly, and her friend comes in. Because if you're going to believe Funky, then you have to consider the gravity of the situation. Wow. That's some, wait, Queen. That's some cold-hearted shit. It sounds like it. I would be the last one talking. If you are indeed about that life like that, Mendeecees, and you beat that girl that you, all of them injuries she had, and close the door softly after kissing and a hugging, booty shorts, all that. In a Uber? Oh, hell no. Child, let me mind my damn business. This man is crazy if what you say is true. Why would you play with that? I just have questions. Sometimes it ain't worth talking if what you say is true, because because what if Tamar would have died? And if Mendeecees was the last person that went up there, would he not be responsible? I'm just putting it out there. I'm not saying he's right or wrong, but I'm saying if what you say is true, then that would make him a criminal anyway, a man with a criminal mind, a criminal capacity, right? And you feel that comfortable talking like that? Forget Tamar telling that man's business who fucked Tamar up like that. Wow. And that's why I said, wait a minute. Because there's Funky the blogger, and then you also have Funky Quentin that lives in Atlanta that needs to be comfortable. So how much of this is true versus not true? And at this point, it's an issue whether it's true or not, because now you're talking about a man who left a girl in that condition, and that in and of itself is a crime, right? He didn't get her aid. See, y'all were here for the tea, huh? We got to get all the tea, because if Mendeecees is the one responsible, that is a crime. And if you had information to help solve a crime, how come you didn't come forward sooner? And that's why I said, okay, Funky, Dineva.
Bro, I don't want to talk about it.
You just said I'm gonna talk about
Kill
it.
it. I get angry. Bro, I don't want to.
I'm just saying, what are y'all's thoughts? I'm just asking. You hate her that much that you would, when she called to find out who beat her like that, you didn't say? You said, I don't know nothing. You couldn't say, friend, you don't remember? Girl, you and Mendeecees. Let me tell you something, Leyland's Blair. What crime? It don't matter if the police are called or not. You knock somebody's teeth out of their mouth and leave them for dead, whether I call the police or you call, it's still a crime. You don't have to call the police to qualify wrongdoing as a crime. Men that beat women, that's a crime, whether she want to press charges or not, whether she hides it or not and say she fell down the stairs. It's a crime. Are we really going to get in? Y'all really hate Tamar that much that you say it ain't a crime to knock her damn teeth out her mouth? It ain't a crime to withhold information if she calls you to say, who came upstairs with me? What happened? Girl, I'll play the tapes. He said, I don't know. I don't know nothing about that lady. And now you're saying you do. Maybe she was attempting to talk to the police. And everybody's saying, I don't know, Tamar. And she told, I don't know. But are we really finna do that? And say a nigga can beat a woman down and it's not a crime? Is that where we are? Is that where we're headed in 2026? Or does it matter who's on this thumbnail? Does it depend what woman it is? Oh, if it happens to her, it's not a crime. There's no wrongdoing here. She didn't call the police. It's perfectly okay. It doesn't make it a crime if it's Tamar. I'm just asking. It's not about taking it seriously. It's about it could happen to anybody. Y'all be so stuck on whether you like somebody. And based on whether you like them or not, some of you, not all of you, then you have an appetite for gruesome behavior. Then you have an appetite, a dark appetite, if you don't like them. That scares me. Because what's worse than a man that'll beat the crap out of a woman is another woman that'll sit back. Y'all remember we did the turkey leg cut thing, and that man was beating the crap out of that lady before he kidnapped her? They went back and showed in August. They caught it on the home surveillance. He beat her and beat her and beat her and beat her. Drug her outside, dragging her by her hair. There was a woman there and a man that watched. They got in the car and they left. Didn't call the police. To me, what's worse than a man actually beating a woman is another woman that has an appetite and can turn her head and say, well, I'm gonna mind my business. because it's happening to her. It's not. That's all I'm saying. Y'all got to be careful. Be careful what you expose yourself to. Right is right. Wrong is wrong. Don't nobody want nobody, I hope, to get their damn teeth knocked out. Don't nobody want nobody to take advantage of a loved one, a stranger. Now, if what Funky is saying is true, the outcome of sin is death. Whether Mendeecees is actually legally married to Yandy or not, when you play with fire, you get burned. When you play stupid games, Tamar, you win stupid prizes. So that does not absolve Tamar of any responsibility of this. But if you were creeping with Mendeecees, you better be very careful who you creep with. Because of if what he's saying is true, the result of your action is you got left like a rag doll and a side chick that a nigga don't love and or care about. And hopefully if that's true, this is a wake-up call for you to sit down somewhere. Because these hoes ain't loyal. None of them. And that does not apply. When I say hoe, that doesn't apply to a woman. They ain't loyal. Funky told you, I don't know what happened to you. If what Funky is saying allegedly is true, then Mendeecees did this to you. Funky's focusing on the aspect of the affair, but if we're focusing on the affair, we got to take everything into consideration that you got beat down. So now you've created this mess, Funky Dineva. Because I got a lot of questions. You've just put Mendeecees front and center as the possible person that tore that girl up and left her for dead. Because Tamar's words was, I was left for dead. Now, we can pull up all the receipts and y'all are familiar with them. So at this point, whether Tamar chooses to press charges or not, if what Tamar is saying is true, and if what Funky Dineva is saying is true, folks, we have a crime here. That is domestic violence, period, whether it's your husband or not. And at this point, it is out of Tamar's hand should the Atlanta Police Department choose to exercise jurisdiction. That's all I'm saying. Y'all not going to come over here and play with me.
Bruh.
And I don't think that's probably where Funky was trying to go with all of this. But what if it goes that way? If what they're both is saying is true. Because you can't say she lying and he telling the truth. If what they're both is saying is true, okay. Because so far, up until where we choose a side, everything else is lining up. Funky said Mendeecees was there. That's what y'all didn't see. He was in a different frame. He lingered back. He was with us that night. Okay. Okay. All right. So this is going from A to B. They're both telling the same story. And then the details get blurry when I don't know who was there. Now you come back. It had to have happened because he said Mendeecees was there. That's who went upstairs with you. Him and his homeboy. You can't take that back now. And I know y'all are saying they're messy. I understand they're messy, but there's still laws. There's still ways that we're governed on how we have to live. And I don't think Funky, if this gets out of control, I don't think that's his intent, but that's what happens when you allow your emotions to rule over your heart and you click those buttons on these microphones. You be like, whoa, shit, I was just trying to get my damn lick back. This girl is getting on my nerves. I told her anytime she came, I was going, okay, and that's fine. But now you've opened Pandora's box. Mendeecees, did you do that? And now Tamar has no control. Funky has no control, and neither does Mendeecees over the situation if the police decide to do their own investigation. That's all I'm saying. Yes, S. White, and that would mean that he beat her. That's it. Now, let's get into the thick of it. How in the hell did we get here? Well, we got to talk about it. How did we get here? Let me show you this 10-second snippet that triggered Funky for whatever reason. And hold on. I just recognize that. Okay, there we go. We can see the screen now. Here we go.
Two together. Do you and Mendeecees
Hold
have
on, here we go. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
putting you two together? Do you and Mendeecees have like anything beyond this film? Or?
No, to be honest, I barely even know him.
Okay.
to be honest, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not like, we're cool,
Yeah.
but he's not like my homie. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
It's not
right.
like that. Yeah.
So they started putting you two together. Do you and Mendeecees have like
that. And he just got casted in the film, and here we are.
were you like a little hesitant? This is the one thing I will say, how I think people might get tired in, maybe because you're using his name in the film. Did y'all ever think about
that? And he just got casted in the film, and here we are.
were you about using a different name?
We use Julian.
That's a different name though.
We use
You get what I'm trying to say?
We use
That's-
L'Oreal.
I know.
Just
But
saying.
Mendeecees just seems so standoutish.
Well, talk to his mama. She named him, not me.
About using a different name. Okay, well also, so in the
Yeah.
film though, you know,
Yeah.
I was in there.
Yeah.
But me and you wasn't hugged up. So they saw the coziness, and some people said they ain't never seen him like that with Yandy.
Well, I've never met the lady, so
Yeah.
I've never.
The lady.
Okay, well also, so in the
Yeah.
film though, you know,
Yeah.
I was in there.
Yeah.
But me and you wasn't hugged up. So they saw the coziness, and some people said they ain't never seen him like that with Yandy.
Well, I've never met the lady, so
Yeah.
Tamar, that's giving side chick. I'm not saying you are, but that's what that's giving. That's giving distant, cold, distinct. That's giving what Funky gave you, the lady.
I've never never talked to her, never met her. And so it wasn't a situation where it was like, oh, I'm finna go after somebody.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
It was like, you know, I met somebody and this person was perfect for the role.
Yeah.
And their experience was
Now, I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience. When I hear you talk like that, and if I have to close my eyes and listen, there's a point where I'm like, are you disassociating a relationship, right? By being adjacent to Yandy. I don't know the lady. I've never met her. So technically, it's not like I'm stealing somebody's man or sleeping or creeping with, period, somebody's man that I know. What are y'all's thoughts? I'm not saying she did, but it seems a bit strategic. Okay. Hold on. Let's continue.
never talked to her, never met her. And so it wasn't a situation where it was like, oh, I'm finna go after somebody.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
It was like, you know, I met somebody and this person was perfect for the role.
Yeah.
And their experience was parallel to mine, and it worked out.
Yeah.
And we had a great time filming it. It was a very easy, fun shoot. And I don't know. Here we are, Heartbreak Retrograde, parallel to mine.
I would have wanted. Let me see what L'Oreal. If L'Oreal pushes, here's the question I'm waiting to be answered. How did you meet him? Because she said I met somebody. I felt like he was perfect for the role. His experience was similar to mine.
You want to be like this?
Okay, hold on. Let's get to.
Let's be like.
Hold on. Let's get to the part where Funky became upset. Funky Dineva became upset with Tamar Braxton. I hope I have the right one. Let me see. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
And so when my house got robbed, it was very.
No, that's the wrong one. Hold on. There's a quick clip. I saw it. I thought I had it. Give me 1 second. This is the clip where. Give me 1 second. We're looking for the clip where Funky felt like, I'm tired of her. I'm coming out. I'm not protecting you. I'm about to lay it all out there. Y'all bear with me. Hold on. Here we go. Hold on. Damn, y'all, I apologize. I had the wrong clip ready to go. I thought I had the right one. I found it. Give me 1 second. But we're gonna show you Tamar's quick moment that really upset Funky Dineva, and then we're gonna show his response to her talking. All right, we're switching out. Thank you, everybody, for your patience. Here we go. I apologize again for the slight delay.
Are you aware of what really happened to you?
No, I'm not.
Or can you talk about what
I can talk
happened?
about it, but I'm not aware of what really happened to me.
Yeah.
All I know is that I went to a friend's birthday party. I gave a friend a birthday party.
Are you aware of what really happened to you?
No, I'm not.
Or can you talk about what
I can
happened?
Okay. That's basically it, but let's continue.
Hello.
You thought was your friend.
Well, we ain't even gonna touch on that.
Yeah.
I came home like I would normally do. Well, you kind of know the spiel. I come home, I'll take a shower, I'll wash my face, I'll come back in the kitchen. We'll have, have more. Hello.
You thought was your friend.
Well, we ain't even gonna touch on that.
Yeah.
Have more cocktails.
I know how it goes.
Or have some food.
Yeah.
And congregate until everybody leaves. And the last person left. And one of my friends was just a little too intoxicated to drive, which is fine. My third bedroom is very iconic.
You always like, yo,
Have more cocktails.
I know how it goes. Like, yo, L, you ain't got to drive. You can stay right here.
Yeah, it's very iconic. So, actually, me and Brian was texting each other while I was watching Real Housewives of Orange County. And I fell asleep. And when I woke up to my
Like, yo, L,
and shaking me like, Tay, are you okay? Are you okay? What's going on? I'm calling an ambulance. I was like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
All right. She slipped up. Whoever found her, did you catch her slip? She said, I'm going to call the police. And you called an ambulance. She said, no, you're not. That means, well, I'm not going to say that means anything. Could it be true that Mendeecees was actually the person in there? If that's true, what Funky says. And could it be true that you stopped your friend from calling the cops because Mendeecees was the person that was there and you did not want the negative attention and the negative attraction? That's a big question mark. Big question mark. Let's continue. I want to play this again. Let's listen. Tamar, you did catch yourself. Hold on.
Oh, you ain't got to drive.
Yeah. And then when I came to, it was like teeth and blood all over the place and shaking me like, Tay, are you okay? Are you okay? What's going on? I'm calling an ambulance. I was like, no, you're not.
Did y'all catch that slip up? I'm calling the police. Damn. Funky, you just opened up Pandora's box, but I get it. Okay, but let's continue. Hold on. Let's continue. You did slip up, Tamar.
Don't remember anything.
I do not. I do not.
Scary.
I do not.
So did you look at the friend like, hey, did you do something to me?
No, that person wasn't capable. That person was mortified.
Yeah. Don't remember anything.
Who was mortified? Whoo, y'all, give me a quick 30 seconds. Let me get the other video teed up. 30 seconds. That's all we need. All right, we are back. Thank you. I think that was 25 seconds. Woo-wee. What are your thoughts? We're about to go to Funky's, Funky Dineva's response to that segment of Tamar's interview. Man, oh man, oh man. Here we go. But let me see what your comments are saying. Because we gotta let me see what the comments are saying. So then Funky had a knee-jerk reaction
Are you aware of what?
to hearing Tamar even reference that she threw him a birthday party. I don't know what's something about that damn birthday party that is triggering him. And at this point, I'm like, do you even feel like it was worth talking? I mean, for me, it's worth talking about, but just in that aspect, the repercussions of what comes with opening up that type of tea, is it even worth it? Nicole said, I think Yandy already knew. Oh, now they saying they think Yandy did it, allegedly. Y'all are just hypothetically speaking. Okay. All right. So here's Funky's reaction to Tamar's interview. And for those of you that do not understand how YouTube work, we're going to do a recap, and I'm going to give you my take. And that requires me having to pause his commentary every now and then. All right. Give me 1 second, please.
What really happened to you?
I'm finna move on to a story that I'm still up in the air about how I'm gonna respond to Tamar. Okay, but Tamar recently did an interview. I'm finna move on to a.
I want you to listen to Funky Dineva very carefully. I'm a technical person. I challenge you to be technical in this moment. Listen.
Story that I'm still up in the air about how I'm gonna respond.
So when he clicked what he's saying and what I'm taking away in this moment is right here in this moment. He said, I'm not sure how I'm going to respond. Now, this is where I'm going to come in for any of you that are tuned in. If you're ever not sure about something, don't do it. If you're ever in a position where you're not should I not, don't do it. Do it when you're sure. Do it when you are clear, you've thought out, and you know exactly what you want to say. It's giving transparent, but it lacks strategy.
To Tamar, okay? But Tamar recently did an interview with L'Oreal, and I don't know, she just did something I didn't like. Take a look.
All right. That's it, y'all. That's his truth in that moment. He didn't like it. He didn't like it. Is that good enough for those of you that are tuned in? I'm not saying he's right or wrong. I get it. But when there's a strategy, you have to consider the cost of reacting to everything you don't like. He said, I just didn't like her talking.
Are you aware of what really happened to you?
No, I'm not.
Or can you talk about
I
what
can talk
happened?
about it, but I'm not aware of what really happened to me.
Yeah.
All I know is that I went to a friend's birthday party. I gave a friend a birthday party. Hello.
You thought was your friend.
He appears to be very upset in this moment, but okay.
Well, we ain't even gonna touch on that.
Yeah.
I came home like I would normally do. Well, you kind of know the spiel. I come home, I'll take a shower, I'll wash my face, I'll come back in the kitchen. You know, we'll have, have more.
Okay, so the rest of the interview is irrelevant. Tamar, I'm gonna speak to you directly. I never wanted what transpired between me and you to transpire. I didn't.
I believe that. But here we are.
In this moment, it's still not something that I'm very proud of. And I honestly wish that I could go back a couple months and we could be in the place that we were before this happened. But what I can't tolerate is the sly shade, the sly messiness, and this thing that you do. You do just enough. You do just enough that when somebody calls you on it, then you can dip your hands back and be like, I didn't do nothing. What? I didn't do nothing. I didn't say the person.
That may be true. But so do you. That may be true, but so do you. And it's a part of the persona of it all when we look at both of you. She didn't really cross the line. She ticked you off. She ticked you off, right? At this point, I'm following. I get it. You're irritated. Okay, I can follow. I can be fair. It's not about him being wrong. It's about following. So you got to follow the whole thing before you make a judgment. I can relate. I can understand. We're not at the point where he's outed her yet. So let's hear him out. Right now, I can relate. I understand. But listen, that's small to a giant. You are a blogger that grows, according to you, a hefty amount of money. It comes with the territory. Gigi, you said give an example. Gigi, can you elaborate a little bit more? I'll wait for you. Type an example of, I move so fast. I probably said something you want me to give an example. Can you give an example of, and I'm gonna try to come back to your comment. Okay. So listen, I follow you. Things are irritating. We do deal with those kind of people, but you do it too. Oh, Gigi, I know what you're asking. Gigi said, can you give an example when he did it? Yes. When he came on, he said, that lady. And then people said, we don't like the way you're saying that lady. And he did just enough. But then he came back and qualified it and said, that's just the way I talk. I ain't do nothing. I ain't do nothing. 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other. Both of y'all shade other people. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. If we can be fair, right? So you got to get to a place, Funky Dineva, that in the fallouts, whether it's people you like, don't like, we're close to, not close to, it's water off a duck's back. It's small to a giant like you. That's all I'm saying.
Person's name. Okay, you started out with.
Are you aware of what really happened to you?
No, I'm not.
Or can you
I
talk
went
about
to-
I can talk about it, but
Party.
I'm not aware of what really happened to me.
Yeah.
All I know is that I went to a friend's birthday party. I gave a friend a birthday party.
Okay. I don't like that.
And we don't like when you refer to her as that lady. She was supposed to be your friend. But let's continue. I want to hear you out.
I don't like that at all because I'm telling you to your damn face, you was a bold-faced, bald-headed, goddamn liar. Okay? That night was never about me.
Now, I thought you said you just was hoping y'all would go back. Funky, I think you got to start being honest. Here's the part where I follow. I wish we could go back. I wish it never happened. I do believe you wish it never happened. You said it bothers you. And it bothered you. And still to this day, it eats you up. That tells me, and I can assume you didn't get the outcome that you were hoping for. And for whatever reason, you're still triggered by her and a lot of reasons. I think you're better off by just saying, I can't fucking stand you. I don't like you. I've never liked you. I'm tired of your shit. I wish I would have never went out with you that night. You are trouble to me. You are this. You are that. Get it out and be done.
You and Zoe and all the rest of them, y'all was looking for something to eat. Y'all called me and was asking me what was there to eat up in my direction. I said everything up my way closed. I was like, we could always go to Roof Chris. Y'all said, fuck it, meet me at Roof Chris. I met y'all at Roof Chris, you and Zoe. In comes walking Mendeecees and his homeboy. Okay.
Now, see, Funky, this is where I know you want to get Tamar, but this is the part where I says, when you said, I don't know which way I'm going to go with this. I still don't know how I feel about this in this moment, but I'm going to address Tamar. That's why you phone a friend and say, look, I'm going to air this bitch out. And they're going to say, all right, you can say all that, but don't say no names or whatever, but let's go.
Okay. Now, this is the third time that Me and you have been hanging out, and out of nowhere, here comes Mendeecees. Okay. Now you can make of that whatever the hell you want to make of it. Okay. I was tired. I wanted to.
You already know. You putting it out there. They're having an affair. You are giving a strong supportive evidence, okay?
Go home. Y'all said we going over here to Sauce in Buckhead.
How come you didn't go home? You didn't want to go to dinner, but you went anyway. I get it sometimes. Okay, now you ate, you fat, full, and fluffy. You want to go home. They don't. You have more than enough money to call a private black car service. I love you. Thank you, girl. It was nice. Child, I'm finna go home.
Meet us at Sauce. I said, y'all, I really don't want to go. I drive my car over to Sauce. By the time I get to Sauce, Zoe calls and says, Tamar said, just leave your car at her house and we're going to go to V12. I didn't even want to go.
Why you? Then don't go. Funky, you gotta then don't go. You've gotten 3 intuitive hits, where you keep saying, I didn't want to go. Now, you didn't say something told me not to go, but when you feeling like I didn't want to go, that's something telling you not to go. And you went.
You didn't throw me no party, love. Why are you doing this? Why is it so important for you to create this narrative like you were doing something for a friend and a friend did you so wrong?
Did she pay for dinner? Maybe her idea. I'm just asking because it sounds like this is becoming very technical between the two of them about this party. And the trigger seems to be the word party. Did she pay for your dinner? And maybe as adults, Chash, Tamar, I think because she paid for my dinner, she threw me a party. Okay, thank you, Tammy. Said yes, she paid. I think that's what she means, a party. That's most people be like, yeah, I threw him a little birthday dinner, a birthday party. So it seems like they are getting and going to this back and forth, this shade of it all about the word party. He has one idea, what he thinks a party is. Child. But the word party brought us here today.
Okay. So now you and Mendeecees sneaking and dealing around. Mendeecees was behind us at the V12.
Funky is telling it, baby.
Okay. He just didn't want to walk in or they had arranged it because he didn't want to be caught up all in the mix. If you were throwing Quentin a party, Tamar, the sign would have said Quentin. The sign would have said Funky Dineva on it.
Okay, it didn't. But how did we get here? Because now it went from, I don't know that lady who bust that lady teeth out. I don't know what happened to that lady teeth. And I kind of feel like the goalpost is moving. What's the real issue? Is it the word party? Is it because the name said Tamar? How did we get here? What's the real issue?
Okay. Now, in fairness, it was my birthday week. And maybe in your mind, you were saying, let's go out and continue to hang for your birthday. Or it's your birthday, let's hang. But to create this narrative.
Okay, but did she pay for stuff? Even if you chose to partake, because I do believe, if I can recall correctly, Funky, you said you bought all of that and you drank it up. I didn't touch it. But was it in the spirit of celebration for you, whether you chose to acknowledge it or not? You get what I'm saying?
That you went to throw a birthday party for a friend and this friend did you so wrong. That's not right, Tamar. And it's not.
She didn't say that. Did y'all hear her say this friend did me so wrong? That's what you're hearing. And I get it. And let me tell you something. When people have their mind made up about you, that's why you shouldn't have went out with her. You don't like her. You don't like her. Period. Quit hanging out with people you don't like. People you don't like can never win you over. Okay? It is what it is with them. You ain't gonna see no right in a person that you're deemed as wrong, as you person that you deem as petty, shady, messy. We see what we see. The fact of the matter is you don't like her, and that's okay. But you gotta say that. Because right now it's sounding real childish behind a party. No, she didn't hint that her friend did her dirty. L'Oreal did, and Tamar said, we're not going there. And I believe Tamar said, we're not going there because he asked her not to speak on him. And I believe in that moment, she was attempting to do that by redirecting the interview. And Funky, when you don't like somebody, it ain't really too much they can say before you're on their ass like white on rice.
Fair to me, and my feelings are hurt behind it. My feelings are really hurt behind you trying to create this narrative. And here is what the situation is, my love. For whatever reason, you being Tamar Braxton that you are, you like running to the internet and stirring up mess and confusion and drama. It's what you like. There is no real world where anybody busts out the front of their damn mouth and then start talking about they woke up in a pool of blood and they almost died.
So are you saying she busted out?
I did not play it in this interview, but at the time in which you went to the internet, you said you woke up in a pool of blood and almost died. In this interview with L'Oreal,
let's see. I think I got the receipt. Hold on. We just got to run it real quick. I think I know what he's talking about, but hold on. Let's just run it. Give me 1 second. Here it is. Hold on, y'all. Let's just run it and we can read it together. Shoot. Here it is. Give me 1 second. Damn. I'll pull it back up in a second. Give me 1 minute.
You mentioned that you were home with David or somebody, and they said, we need to call the ambulance. And you were like, no, we're not calling no ambulance, which suggests to me that you did not almost die. Okay. But now, since you want to be like this, let's be like this. Part of the problem with...
I'm not going to say she didn't almost die because she said, don't call. People do that a lot when they don't want to implicate somebody. Women do it a lot when they just got their ass toe up and they don't want him to get in trouble. We heard it in the Diddy trial. He slammed Cassie's head, put a big gash in her head. Okay? A gash. Busted her eye up. She looked horrible. And he kept her in a hotel room until she healed up. That doesn't mean that the injuries were not severe. Yes, I know she said she almost died. I agree with that. But he's saying because you did not allow your friend to call the ambulance and the police, I don't believe you almost died. Let's continue.
What this whole thing was, Tamar, is that I was never comfortable with the relationship that you and Mendeecees had in front of me. Okay. All of that, you at the music video shoot in your booty shorts, sitting on top of him.
That's why I got to call Cap on you. Now it's too late to become holy, 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 holy. It's too late.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap. Stop the cap.
Because you mad now. Now all of a sudden, you know what? I figured out now this is where you can be a little bit manipulative because the shit has hit the fan. I'm going to air you out and I'm going to put it out there that I watched you having an alleged affair with Yandy's husband, but I'm going to say I never felt comfortable. You're doing the same thing you accuse her of. You run into the internet, you're being messy, and you're giving yourself a way out. If you don't like something, let's talk, grown people. You don't do it. If you don't like something, you don't return to it 2, 3, 4, 5 times and watch it go down. You don't like seeing Tamar cheat allegedly with Yandy's husband? I ain't going back. Girl, I don't condone that. Mendeecees is here? Okay. Well, I'm finna go. Well, okay, well, finish your food. Okay, I finished my food. Well, we finna go over here. Park your car at my house. If you don't like something, you don't do it. You don't condone it. And if you really about that life, you let her know, hey, don't ever do that again. Don't put me in a situation where you put my name, my reputation on the line, because then you're going to have to force me to make a decision. I don't mind coming out with you, but don't sneak Mendeecees on me because I want no parts. That's what grown-ups do. That's what don't do that. Girl, I'm a blogger. I don't want people to think I get down like that. I am not that messy. I believe in this instance, Funky Dineva, you are being a bit manipulative and you're taking an out by throwing her under the bus because you want to keep your hands clean and you don't want to mess up your network and your connections with the other women in Atlanta as the one that'll sit by and let them get cheated on and don't say anything. I feel like it's a cop-out and it's a coward move in this moment because if you didn't like it, you don't go back and watch it happen again.
Him meeting us up at restaurants every time we met up, I was very uncomfortable with it. And if we're gonna tell it, let's tell it all. So since you was throwing a party for a friend's birthday party, do y'all want to know why I did not get out the car and go upstairs with Tamar when we got back to her house? Because after her and Mendeecees got through kissing in the back of that goddamn car, I figured they wanted to be up there privately. That is why when we got dropped off at Tamar's house, I did not go upstairs. I got in my damn car and went home because you was sitting on his lap in that goddamn Uber and y'all ass was kissing.
All right. Okay.
Okay, and the shit made me damn uncomfortable. Okay, now if anybody know who happened and what happened to your damn teeth, it's Mendeecees and his best friend. Because
Boo, I told you. Now he opened Pandora's box. See, I didn't listen to this straight through. I like to listen with y'all in real time. And I started off this segment as, wait a minute, are you implicating that if something happened to you, then the person that would have access to that information and be able to answer those questions is Mendeecees? And that's why I'm asking you, Funky Dineva, if Mendeecees is in fact that type of character, that type of individual, that type of man who's capable of that type of violence, is it worth you getting in the middle of it? That's all I want to know. If Mendeecees is who you say he is, according to you, and he would do her like that, for whatever reason, I have a lot of questions.
they was the ones who went upstairs with you. Now, I don't know whether they was fucking your ass from the back and ran your head through the headboard or what. Okay?
That's where you go too far. Now, it's tea for us, but you live in Atlanta. We don't. That's all I'm saying.
Okay? But if anybody need to be investigated on what happened to you in your damn teeth, it need to be Mendeecees and his friend.
All right, you just implicated them. Y'all gonna learn to listen to me. He implicated them. What you mean I don't listen? I'm listening. I may not be saying I'm listening. I know what I'm hearing. I'm listening. You can't make me hear what you want me to hear. I'm hearing the man. He said if anybody needs to be investigated, it's Mendeecees and his friend. Okay. I know he didn't say he did it. He said if anybody needs to be investigated. That's why you think before you click your mind. He was implicated. Ooh, child.
Because that's who went upstairs with you. That's who went upstairs with you. Okay? All the phone calls I got at the V12, is Tamar drunk? Why is she sitting on Mendeecees' lap like this? Why is she sitting on Mendeecees' lap? And see, here's the thing.
You talking, I don't know. I mean, do your thing. See, that's why I told y'all, I don't think y'all understand the level of commentary I'm trying to bring to you. I said there's different dynamics here. There's Funky Dineva talking as a blogger. And then there's Q that lives in Atlanta. There's blurred lines here. That's all I'm saying. It's a lot. Because if you're going to blog, you got to blog. But you cannot frolic in these groups and learn these people's secrets and come out and play. I don't know. It's different.
I hate that I even chose to go this route because it follows the narrative of, oh, he just a messy sissy who couldn't wait to get mad day to tell her business, keep the messy punks from round you.
Who said that? Who said that? Y'all, who said that he was a messy sissy and she need to keep them punks from around her? Who said that? Let me see if y'all gonna say, who came out and said that? Oh, the chat. You saying the chat be saying that. Oh, okay. Well, you can't, he know to stay out the chat. Now, Funky Dineva has been doing this a long time. He is a master. Stay out the chat. You know you got to stay out the chat. They say a lot.
Like, it would seem to me, Tamar, if you knew that I was holding on to all of this, that you would just leave me the fuck alone.
Y'all.
Baby, you didn't throw no party for me. If anything, you threw a pre-party for Mendeecees. Because he the one who went back upstairs with you. That
All right, Funky.
lady husband.
What lady? Whoa. I'm being sarcastic. Funky? Damn.
And see, y'all be around here in these blogs and shit thinking y'all be knowing what y'all be talking about. Folks be eating me up. And I
We be knowing. We said Mendeecees went up there. Well, I told my people. I don't know if I did it in my members only, but I knew. My source told me. We be knowing. You gave us enough context clues to do a process of elimination. I mean, it ain't like you kept it close to your heart. It ain't like you tucked it under your pillow like a missing tooth for the tooth fairy to come get it. You put it out there. And anybody that got a little bit of sense, you just start to A, B, C, D. Hey, let me make a call. Let me ask you something. We be knowing?
And I just be sitting there. If only y'all knew. If only y'all knew. He's such a bad friend. He's such a bad friend. If she was drunk, why he didn't go upstairs with her? That faggot just want to be around her. He just want to be around her.
I knew. I understood what you were saying. You, to me, I don't know about them. I understood what you said when you said they went upstairs. I didn't. I knew that meant Tamar taking the men upstairs. Who was the question? We said who. That's it. I mean, you were speaking English?
Because of XYZ, a real friend would have went upstairs where I didn't need to go upstairs with her because that lady husband went upstairs with her.
All right.
You absolutely right. A real friend would have went upstairs. Her real friend went upstairs with her. Hold on one second. This is my auntie nursing home.
Y'all, this is messy. This is messy. And Tamar, anything you starve must die. And I know, Funky, you cooked it back up. You cooked it back up. You put it back on the table because you said your feelings are hurt. You said you really don't like how things went down the first time. You don't like the fact that she's saying that she threw you a party. Okay. Now, here's the problem. And I get it. So I think if you're going to tell it, like you said, we're going to tell it, we got to tell it. Well, you got to tell it too. So here's where, y'all, why it's kind of convoluted. You've been her alibi for her hookups with Mendeecees previously. Although you said all this is alleged. Although you said it made you uncomfortable. So if what you're saying is true and you've been there and they've used you as an alibi when they would creep in Atlanta streets, they are not doing anything differently. You say you don't like the fact that she used the word, I'm taking Q out for his birthday, and it pisses you off this one night because here go Mendeecees. And even though it's supposed to be my birthday party, she drinking, sitting on his lap, ignoring me, because that's what it's giving. And I'm tired of this BS. And if you're going to see him, then stop bringing me around. But now you don't want to be seen as a bad guy that played what? That ran, I don't know, you kind of ran defense for her, if what you're saying is true. You ran defense. And let me read this. Here's another one. It says, Queen Sheba, you give Funky more smoke than women sleeping with somebody else's husband. I mean, I keep it, I mean, I don't know how you put those two together. But yeah, I cover what I cover, and I keep it real for the most part. I think that's what you're trying to say. Damn, it'd be so direct. It'd be so direct. So you ran defense. You helped her cheat. And you don't want to come out with blood on your hands. You don't want to be ousted of this celebrity, whatever. You probably shouldn't have said anything.
Quentin Latham.
Why he answer that phone like that? Hold on. Oh. I'm gonna just tell you what I sense here in this video, and I'm gonna put on my Tinder cap. Okay, I'm gonna put on my Tinder cap. I'm gonna take my blogger hat off, and I'm gonna put on my Tinder cap for a moment. See a man who's very conflicted. Not while he was talking, but in this moment, if you go watch his video and you look at him while he's on the phone, Funky, I sense that you're really not sure that you should have done this. Right, wrong, and or indifferent. And y'all, I'm going to say it again. When we're not sure of something, it bothers us. Even if we have a right to do so, right? It just bothers the spirit. And I feel like even though if what you're saying about Tamar is true, what if it's facts and it's true? We got to do what we are called to do in purpose and spirit so that we keep our heart posture in a good position. And I know I said it before. If you're not sure about something, don't make a move. Even if that means you got to wait months or weeks. That's what I'm picking up. That's it. You said this is a tough spot to be in. It is, but he placed himself in that spot when he turned on that camera and that microphone. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, to her for. And the whole issue, Tamar, about the whole thing was the fact that you don't get to go around and create media shitstorms that involve other people without their permission.
Yes, she does. She can do what she want to do, just like you're doing what you want to do in this moment. It's not right. But people can do whatever the hell they want to do. All we can do is choose our response and our reaction. We hope they don't. We hope they won't, which is why I'm saying you probably shouldn't have did what you're doing. A shitstorm that's involving Mendeecees, that's involving his friend, that's involving Yandy and Zeno and Zion and Brian and everybody else. So the same thing that you're preaching, you have to be willing to take your own advice at some point as an adult. That's all I'm saying. You can do what you want to do. She can do it until the day she takes her last breath. We can't control that, just like we can't control you. The only thing we can control or you can control is your reaction to her.
That whole my teeth fell out My teeth fell out and I don't know what happened. Tamar, like, sis. And then you had that Spanish lady make that video down in Miami lying. There is nobody who had the amount of mouth trauma that you had that healed that quickly.
What are y'all's thoughts? I feel like Tamar's face in this right here. Let me show y'all this. I feel like Tamar's a little puffy right here in her interview. Let me just pause. Here we go. When I saw it, I was like, Tamar looks a little puffy around her jaw. I mean, the cheek area. That's all I thought to myself. She looks a little puffy. But okay, let's go back.
You know what happened when it's time to be messy. You know what happened when it's time to be mean. You know what happened when it's time to hide the fact that you was messing with Yandy's husband.
So that's a fact then. Because he's not saying allegedly. He's not saying allegedly anything.
You know what happened when it's time for y'all to sneak in and out of places at different times to not be caught with people, but you don't know what happened in your own damn house while that man was up there with you.
That part, I'm going to have to go with you. I think she knows what happened, which is why she said, don't call the police. If what you're saying is true, and you saying, if anybody needs to be, his words were, if anybody needs to be investigated, it needs to be Mendeecees and his friend. If what you're saying is true, Funky Dineva, I'm going to have to roll with you. I think she does know what happens, allegedly, if what you're saying is true. And that's why she stopped her friend from calling the police. Or may have.
Now you don't know what happened. So with that being said, now I give everybody permission to now paint me as the messy faggot. I'll be that. I will be the messy faggot that everybody should stay away from on Get Mad Day because he gonna tell all your business. I had been told this lady to leave me alone.
What are y'all, what's happening right here? This seems so personal and heavy. Cha.
But you not finna sit your triple face ass up there on L'Oreal's podcast and pretend like, oh, you just had a friend that just did you so wrong. You were just done so wrong. Because if anything, I was the one that was the collateral damage in your bullshit.
I find it interesting that she said, we're not going to go there. And he didn't hear that. Let me play it again. Because that's not what she said. Remember, I said, you see what you want to see. We all do. That applies to me too. We hear what we want to hear. If I'm looking for a problem, I'm going to find one. Let me play it. She said, I gave a birthday party to a friend. L'Oreal responds to someone you thought was your friend. Tamar responded, we're not going to even touch on that. Let me rewind. Funky heard,
and pretend like, oh, you just had a friend that just did you so wrong. You were just done so wrong. Because if anything,
that's not what I heard. Where's the disconnect? Funky? That's not what she said. That's not, L'Oreal said somebody you thought was your friend. Tamar said, we're not going to go there. Y'all, he heard something different. Funky, you're going to have to quit watching her. You're going to have to quit watching her because she seems to bring out the worst in you, to the point you can't hear what's being said because you have a narrative about her, right, wrong, or indifferent. And maybe she earned it honestly from you. But if it's that triggering, you're going to have to quit watching her. Anything with her name on it, you cannot afford to click it. If this is the result. Whew.
I was the one that was the collateral damage in your bullshit. Them people sat up there and called me every damn thing under the sun, made me a part of every conspiracy under the sun, while your ass was sitting back somewhere enjoying all of the media bliss about it because you like.
I'm going to say this. When you came out and you said a little bit about Tamar, from my understanding, when you went live that night on your platform, you said there was over 12,000 something people logged in, waiting. If I can remember correctly, Funky Dineva, you said you couldn't even get in good and start the night off with your commentary. And I believe your words were, because y'all talk about Tamar. That irritated you. So those people that you were talking about are actually your followers who are demanding to know something based on a little bit of a teaser you gave them the previous day. See, this is where we have to be accountable, and we're not all there. When we say, damn, deep down, I ain't gonna lie, shit, I done got these people riled up, and now they want me to elaborate. And because of the pressures and the demands, and you don't sound like you operate too well under pressure, because I heard you say continually, I didn't want to go, but I went. I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to go home. I wanted to go home. So it seems like you crumble under pressure quite often, whether it's self-inflicted or external. So yet again, you find yourself in a situation of doing something you really didn't want to do because people are pressing for something from you. Right? At what point do you become a man? At what point do you hold yourself accountable and say, I ain't have to say shit? And you don't, because you're not ready, and you will in your own time. At what point do you accept responsibility to be like, yeah, I stirred a little pot. I got up in there too. I threw some jabs. I threw some licks, but you're not a victim in this. When both of you are going back and forth, it doesn't matter how you set it up and justify it. As long as you spilling the tea to get your lick back, it's not giving victim.
Like it. All you had to simply do was put y'all leave Funky alone, me and Funky cool. You didn't even want to do that. Then when you went and did it, you took it down the next day. And granted, there is a world where people can say, well, Q, I get it. Some people did not know until I addressed it. But for the record, she went out and said she almost died. I had 7,000 people waiting in the doggone thing.
I stand corrected. 7,000. I thought it was 12. Here we go.
Because they knew we were together the night before, and they were just waiting for me to tell what happened.
And you didn't have to. It's your platform. You run the show. Period.
And I said, I don't know what happened to the lady. But I said, baby, I went home. That lady went upstairs. I went home. I don't know what happened to that lady.
And let me address this comment because that's a bold-faced lie. Ludi, Latu Leapy, he is a victim because you all dragged him. You a lie, because I ain't know nothing until he went on his platform. I was one of the people that don't know nothing, didn't know nothing. And had he not said anything, I ignored Tamar like everybody else. But when he clicked his button and gave in to the pressures of 7,000 people, I was like, what? And it was based on his commentary that I formulated my reaction. So let's not do that. Ask me first before you assume, honey.
Now, I understand that in the wake of some people not knowing who I am and not knowing how we speak in Miami, coupled with the fact that Tamar got on the internet and pretended like she almost died, I get the outrage. People are like, how is he referring to her so dismissively as that lady or whatever? And what y'all don't know, what you know now is the reason why I was referring to her so dismissively is because I knew deep down in my soul hadn't shit happened to her ass.
Okay, so why are you saying if anybody needed to be investigated? Like, I'm confused. What's really going on here? Because in one instance, I can rewind it, but y'all heard him. He said if anybody's going to be investigated or needs to be investigated, it needs to be Mendeecees and his friend. And then now we're towards the end. You're saying nothing happened. Okay.
Had nothing happened to her ass. It would seem to me, before you get on the internet and try to tell people you almost died, that you would have called Olivia Benson from Law and Order to figure out what happened to your ass.
She called you. She called you. She thought y'all were friends. But you said deep down inside, you didn't like her. You didn't consider her a friend. She called you because she didn't know how you really felt about her. Hey, do you remember? You said, I don't know nothing. Okay. And got off the phone.
Months down the line, you don't started a whole media shitstorm and you still talking about you don't know what happened to your ass? And you didn't think.
Why do you keep pouring gasoline on it? If you want it to go away and die, why do you add gasoline? Listen, I'm not like y'all. I don't just I'm like, okay, then both of you bear a responsibility. Why are you still, what's the real problem? If you want it to go away, you can make it go away by not saying anything. Would nobody gonna pay attention to that interview? If the truth be told, am I lying? Would y'all have not skipped over that interview that Tamar just did with L'Oreal? Tell the truth. If Funky hadn't said anything, would y'all have not skipped over Tamar coming out to my house? I woke up, almost died. If Funky hadn't said anything, you validate everything she says with your knee-jerk reaction. If you stop validating it, it can't go anywhere. Child ain't gonna listen to that. I just be skipping and skip. And then you come out, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. There must be a level of truth or something's going on here because Funky's responding 2 times. The first time, I can say, okay, well, we got to give him the emotional get out of jail free card. Maybe he was just so triggered emotionally that he's like, screw this. There's a lot of pressure, girl. Just the bare insinuation puts me in a state of panic. I'm gonna give you that the first time. The second time, I don't know, because here you go again. The girl curved the question about you. This would have been over yesterday. This would have been over yesterday, Funky. You would have woke up in love under new management.
To maybe figure out what happened to your ass before you ran on the internet? I told you a long time ago, I'm not them.
Why is he pointing his finger like that?
I told you a long time ago, I'm not them. I'm not your support staff. I'm not none of them broke sissies that be around you for clout, that need you for money.
Wait a minute. So is sissy a slander word or not? Or is it the same as nigga when black folks say it? Can somebody clarify? Real quick. So is sissy a slander? Or is it just the same as nigga? And you just want to fight when a white person say nigga? Oh. Somebody just let me, somebody may have to help me. You clock that? I mean, I just want to know. Dot said, child, we don't know. I just want to know. Why would he remember? Why would he remember, if anything? She just asking. She probably didn't say, do you remember? Right. Neither one of them are going to give us everything. We're not going to get the full, like it's a court transcript. She probably saying, who came upstairs? Bloop, bloop. Girl, I don't know nothing. I'm going to mind my business. You get what I'm saying? It's probably not those exact words.
Money that needs you to pay the tab. I don't need nothing from you and never needed anything from you. I was your friend genuinely. And I'm still.
I don't know about that. And maybe it was headed in that direction. But I think you have to be honest with yourself, Funky Dineva. The way it's sounding is there's some pent up frustration, and you may be justified. But you got to get that kind of stuff out the way, y'all, before you can really bond with women or men.
Still hurt by all of this. I'm still hurt by all of this because I don't like how you trying to flip it and make it seem like I did you wrong.
She didn't say that, and I kind of feel like you're making a mountain out of molehill. I feel like your response, even though it's tea, is catastrophic. It's not that serious. That interview, it wasn't given that. All of that you're repeating was not said. What you're saying, that didn't happen. Because I can. How about that, Deborah Lee? That's it. I ain't going to even try to make up nothing. Because I can. And the only reason why I'm saying something, because you're asking. There you go. Because I can.
The only person who was did wrong in this situation is Yandy. And I'm going to leave it at that. Moving right along.
All right. And you participated in it. And that's fair. That's it. That's all. Do y'all want me to open up the lines? Does anybody have anything to say about this? Let me open up the lines. I'm going to do 10 minutes of call-ins. Give me 1 second. I'm going to let y'all get in. I'm going to show you how well-rounded we are over here. When you say, why you? Because I can. Just like you can. The lines are open. Come on up. Share your thoughts. That's how easy that is. We don't police people and what they can and can't say. Y'all got to get, I keep telling y'all, Black folks, stop doing that. It's a bad look. Stop trying to dominate somebody because you don't like what they're saying. You don't agree with what they're saying. Hold on. Let me stop sharing. Y'all got to, there we go. Hold on. I see. I got my first person. Let me bring you up. Welcome to today's conversation, Little Miss Tutu.
Hey, Queen. Hey, Chad. Queen, I'm up here. I'm just surprised, and I'm directing this to some of you all in the chat. How can you literally hear what this man is saying, and you're still making excuses for his behavior? First of all, I think personally that going back to when this thing first jumped off, I think it has something to do with the group or the gang or whatever group or gang he was a part of that was pushing him away because of this situation with Tamar. I think that's why he's really upset. One of the things I also want to make a comment on is Funky D. Dude, you can't run in those circles and run off at the mouth. Period. People are not going to want to hang with you, work with you, do all this other stuff because you talk too much. And my last thing that I have to say is hell no, sissy and punks are not gay slurs in my opinion, because as long as hetero slurs being called such as bitch and hoes that women don't like, then it's not a slur. It's the same. And that's just my opinion.
All right, that's Little
Thank you,
Miss
Queen.
Tutu. Thank you, Little Miss Tutu. Thank you. We appreciate you sharing. Girl, welcome. What are your thoughts on today's conversation? You're on mute. Hit your microphone one time, girl. If not, I'm gonna go to Sam. Give me 1 second. Let's give Girla an opportunity to connect. Okay, let's go to Sam. Sam, welcome to today's conversation. What are your thoughts, Sam?
I've been saying this. He's doing this because he's the mouthpiece for Quad the fraud. They're Tamar's messy, he's messy, and he was running cover for this, and he was down with it. But then when Quad and them started pushing up on him, he started backpedaling and clearing his name because he doesn't want to lose that friend group. They're the popular ones in the ATL and have connections. Unlike Tamar, a lot of people don't like her. So he's making his stance of where his allegiance lie. You know, he sounds exactly like Quad. If you don't listen to the verbiage and the things he was saying, that's their stance on it. And I'm not um, insinuating that Yandy and them did anything to Tamar, but come on, let's play all their backgrounds out. Tamar is a street girl. She's dated street guys, and that's been documented. Mendeecees a street guy. Quad dated street guys. And when those type of women, they fight over men too. And I'm not insinuating, but somebody who rolls with Andy fights her battles. And it's been shown on this show as well. None of them have innocence. I think things did go on, but I think Tamar over dramatized it because she's very dramatic. You know, I think something did happen to her. As far as I know, even Mendeecees' ex-girlfriends, none of them have said that he's known to be hitting girls. I've never heard that about him. Not saying he's innocent, but he does mess with a lot of women. So this is exactly what Quad and them have to tell the public, and he's just a mouthpiece.
All right. Thank you, Sam. That was Sam, everybody. She said, listen, let's go to Shirley. Trey, you're up next. Shirley, welcome. What are your thoughts, Shirley? And Shirley, you're on mute, honey. You got to hit your microphone one time.
Okay.
Okay, there you
Hell
go.
yeah.
There you go.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Funky is a messy sissy. And Tamar, I don't blame Tamar. I don't blame Funky, but Tamar know how Funky is. So why would you do business with a married man with Funky? Because Funky don't like black women. He made it known many, many times. So he gonna be your friend, get your business, and when Mad Day come, he gonna expose you. Michelle did a whole video on how that sissy react. And that's my take on it. And hell yeah, he a sissy, and I don't care who don't like it.
All
Bye.
right. That's Shirley. She says she don't care. That's her opinion. That's what she's sticking to. All right, Trey. Welcome, Trey. What are your thoughts on today's conversation?
My God, today. Okay, so I honestly believe that I can believe both of them to a certain extent. I believe that Tamar was drunk out of her mind. She went upstairs. Funky did not go with her, but I also believe that sh I believe the story as far as Mendeecees going up there. I believe that she fell or something of that nature, and Mendeecees booked it. He did not want to be a part of that. So that's why the police or the 911, the ambulance wasn't called. Now, is Tamar known for being a little bit dramatic and exaggerating certain things that happened to her? Yes. However, I feel like this is another example of Funky Dineva just being who he is, which is a hothead. He raged out on this young lady, and she didn't even say nothing about him. But all she did was take him to Ruth Chris and bought him a plate of food. Took him to the club and bought him a few cocktails and carrying on. And this is how he repays his quote unquote friend, how he's still hurt. It's just really weird. It's really weird for somebody to come at her like this. Like, we get it. Tamar is just this big dramatic, person, yada yada, blase blase. But at the end of the day, she has yet to blame him for anything. All she did was, like you said, call him and asked her friend, quote unquote, what happened. He didn't know what happened, so she kept it moving. But she didn't say anything to implicate him. This is all just coming from his head and the people that follow him who were attacking him. She has nothing to do with all those people that were sitting up in his live waiting on him to attack him or waiting for his word or his account of what happened. She don't have nothing to do with how the people react to him. It's based off of his action, and it's also based off of her action and what she does. But he has to take accountability for trying to place this blame on her when he really should be going at the people that were in his comments. If he feels so adamant about, however he feels. But he really needs to calm down. That's really what he's saying.
So you feel like, or let me ask you, I want to make sure I'm following. Are you saying you feel like some of what he may be feeling could be misplaced or misdirected?
I do. When he continuously goes off on her for the people coming to him, people don't even like Tamar. They don't. They halfway believe her with anything that she says. Mm-hmm. So why is he directing the heat towards her? She could have said anything. She really could have been like, well, I exonerate Funky Dineva. And still there would be 75% of people that'll be sitting around telling him, no, well, I don't believe her because she stay lying. I still believe it was Funky. I still believe Funky has something to do with it. There will still be people out there saying that. Why is he holding her account for all of the people that came into his live and attacked him? Let it go. If you know you didn't have anything to do with it, let it go. Or do you just feel guilt because you were sitting around Kiki and Kai with her while she was slobbing Mendeecees down to the root, Chris?
Oh.
Is that the guilt that you feel, or what is that about?
Do you feel like maybe there's been some spillover and some of what we're sensing, the hurt that Funky is saying that he's feeling do you think there's been some repercussions of his fallout with Tamar that may have impacted some of his social circles?
I can see him. I can see people looking at him differently, knowing that he was out with her while she was laid up with Mendeecees.
Okay.
So now he's having to, just like one of the last callers said, now I don't know how Quad got into it, but it may be something where he's having to, where he's feeling like he has to, account for these types of things or bust her out or release her story to take the heat off of him. Maybe there's still some heat coming from his inner circle that he doesn't like.
Oh, it's a lot to consider. It's a lot to take. Let me ask you something. I'm not gonna lie. This feels kind of heavy to me. Does this feel heavy to anybody else? Like it's beyond like, it just feels so personal and heavy.
Yeah, I mean, when you break it down, all they did was go out for a birthday party, and yes, something happened to her, but he's just using everything he can to make sure that he relieves himself of this rather than just making sure his friend is okay.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. The first time we covered it, the first and the second time, it was like, oh, child, what they up to was a lightness to it. This time around, I'm like, oh, there's a little, it comes across as there's an underbelly to this. And I don't even though I get the part of him saying, allegedly, she slept with Mendeecees, the only victim is Yandy, she been sleeping with your man. I get that part. I get all of that. But this is, there seems to be a bite to this. And I don't know if I'm like, what's really going on? What the hell is going on? And are you trying to get out of this so that you don't bear responsibility where Yandy's not going to look at you but you let it go on? How come you didn't call me? That you Quad? How come? I don't know. It feels heavy.
You would think the way that he was talking, you would think that the police that had came to his door the other week or a few days ago or early that morning to question him about the situation. That's what it's kind of given. Like, is that what it is? Because the way that he was like
Oh,
reacting to it, I'm not saying that at all. I don't know. I'm just saying that's what it kind of gives. The energy it gives that type of dark energy. Like there's something serious around the corner.
it's something. Like I was like,
Because
wait a minute.
nobody was talking about this. We had this was yesterday's news, yesteryear's news. Like I completely forgot about Tamar's incident because all we've been talking about
Yeah.
was Tawanda and all the foolishness on the show. Like this whole incident had been forgotten, virtually. But now, and the way that he kind of talks about it in this video, it's like it just feels like there has to be, like you said, there's something else to this. There's something deeper because
Yeah.
the way he kept flip-flopping from, oh well, it happened and it's Mendeecees' fault and it's your fault for fucking Mendeecees, or excuse my language, or whatever y'all had going on. Then he jumped from that to, oh well, actually it really didn't happen because you didn't. The lady was lying, the doctor was lying, and I know how teeth heal, and that happened to me. It's just the back and forth and the double
Yeah.
speak. It's just weird.
I just got a lot of questions, but let me go. Hold on. I
Okay.
see you. Give me 1 second. Trey, mute up for me. I want to read this comment that came through. Hold on. Very interesting. Herm05G says Dineva reached out to Tamar and she ignored him every time. What else do you do? Well, I heard him say she reached out to him, questioning what happened, and then also for Dr. Heavenly's number. And after that, I don't know if there was a reach out or if there was a demand for her to come forward and clear his name. Is that what you're referring to, Herm? And I believe he's began, from what I can remember now, like if you're in the inner circle, Herm, then you have more information than me. And then I recall him saying he began to reach out to people that were connected with her. And they told him, just wait on her. Let's wait and see what she did. Let's see how she moved. Let's see what she got. And he didn't do that. And that's when he said, F it. I'm going to my platform. I'm going to give my side. I remember that, but I don't remember him saying he reached out to kind of make it right or anything like that.
That's
I
what
could
I
be
remember,
wrong.
Queen. I
Okay.
remember him attempting to reach out to her while she was in the hospital with her missing
And
teeth and her broke nose. And
yes,
he
and the
couldn't get
thing
her
that,
on the phone, so he
yeah,
called everybody else that knows her, and they, referred him back to her. But in his words, she didn't do what he needed her to do in his time. That's it. That
got
is what he said.
Whew, got it. Thank you for, because I was like, I remember him saying, but I think he was like, I need this right now. And Ramel, thank you. Ramel gifted 5 Queen Sheba Darling memberships. We appreciate you, Ramel. Destination Sunrise. Thank you for the 10 piece and a pepper. Says, I'm glad you're speaking from the beans being spilled on Mendeecees and not just tea on Tamar. Funky is despicable, and you think after a recent cancer diagnosis, he be a bit more humble. Maybe that's it. Maybe whatever's going on combined with just health challenges, that's the bite. I don't know. D, welcome. What are your thoughts?
Good morning or good afternoon, Queen Sheba and Palace. My thoughts are 2 things. One, Funky is a sensitive person, it looks like by nature. The other thing, Tamar is a Pisces. So some of her movements and her antics are everything that you said earlier, 100%. But I think when he was on TGIF, he made a statement way before he even met Tamar that he wanted to be in her inner circle and he wanted to be her good girlfriend. And he wanted to get very close to her because he wanted to help her navigate some of the things that she's going through. And I think he got to a place where he is got close to her, but he wanted specialized attention. That's why he keeps saying, I didn't want anything from her. I have my own money. I have my own this, that, and this. He wanted to be like her first prominent person that she goes to. I think what's happening with her crew and his crew, they know, a lot of people know each other in that world. And where Quad and them may have something to do with, Quad may have something to do with this, because her and Yandy are friends. They do videos together and all that stuff. So where he may have felt uncomfortable is because knowing that Yandy hangs out with, Quad hangs out with Yandy a couple, at times, and that he's around Tamar. So he may not have wanted to say what he had to say, but a lot of what you were saying is 100% right. You shouldn't speak on stuff when you're in emotional state, because now you've said some stuff. The circles are so tight in Atlanta, and that whole genre of things can happen differently. So he probably needed to just wait a little bit before he responded back.
That's fair. That's fair. Thank you, Dee. We appreciate you coming up.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, everybody, that's D. I want to read this one. The Reality Grizzly says he's pissed at the narrative painted about him that was never clear, so now it's a great cloud over his name. Tamar could have cleared it up. He wanted Tamar to clear it up after he spoke. I understand what you're saying. Tamar came out first, right? And she put that out there. I'm trying to find it. Tamar put out what she put out. But what I'm saying is it didn't grow any legs. Nobody gave it a second thought. It was oh, look at there. And you just keep driving. You get what I'm saying? At least that's what I did. Nobody was really. But on the flip side of that, I can see how you can be at home the next morning. She calls you to ask you what happened. And it seemed like a tit for tat. If we really just sit down and talk openly and honestly, as if we're doing a roundtable discussion, she call you. Let's just say, watch this. This is what I mean, tit for tat. She call you for information. Hey, I woke up in blood. Girl, what you mean you ain't got no teeth? Laughing. It's a serious matter. You're not taking her serious because you think that's just the Tamar of the Tamar. But this is really right. A situation. She asks you for Dr. Heavenly number. You text back jokingly, what you mean? Your teeth, something. What if she did go online? I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. A little petty. I almost died. Maybe feeling some kind of way because you claim you don't remember. Whatever. Then you're like, wait a minute. Was that a little shade? Hold on. I don't know, right? I'm just speaking hypothetically. So you feel some kind of way. And you be like, now I'm at home. Wait a minute, where we going with this, girl? Because I just got off the phone with you. Well, baby, you're not going to let me sit in this. Because that insinuates that I know something or did something, right? I can see how, okay. Well, you click your button to go live. And you got all these people that are waiting. What happened to Tamar? And I think at that point, when you decided, I get how you feel. But just because we feel something, don't mean it's the best thing to act on it. I can understand how you feel. And I think when you decided to address it, you validated it. And then finally, it went back and forth with y'all online. And Funky, let's be clear. You didn't stop there. It carried on in social media. She put up something. She took it down. That infuriated you. You came out and you were subbing the hell out of her on your Instagram. And you felt justified. I'm not questioning that. And finally, when you got tired of dragging her, because you said you were going to drag her every day until you got tired. And then when you decided you were tired, you let it go. How do we get back here? Even if we give him the first round 1, let's give it to Funky. Why are we back here today? That's my question, Trey. That's it.
Thank you. That is my question too. How did we get back here? Who was still talking about this? That's why I'm believing some of the things in the comments talking about it possibly being due to the inner circles and him feeling some type of heat still from them for whatever he did to her as far as airing her out the first time. Because I mean, even if we even if we give him and Tamar grace, at the end of the day, he was trying to contact her to clear his name while she was in the hospital. I can't get over that. I'm sorry. So you can't wait?
Yeah.
The people was attacking you that bad? You couldn't wait and not read the comments? But I don't know. I guess, child, I don't.
A Pearl
How
for
did
you
we get
said
back
it did
here?
grow legs for him. He said they in our DMs all the time. That ain't nothing new for a blogger. That's why I'm telling y'all, Funky's not a subscriber. He's not a person in the chat like you. We get accused of a lie. He's big. So I understand what comes at him every day. It's not going to, it didn't start with Tamar. You get stuff thrown at you all the time. You get accused of stuff you didn't do. And at some point, the bloggers that know and that plan on being here, you got to shake it off. You got to go. You get what I'm saying? Hell, Meg Thee Stallion let Milagro go and go and go and go and go and go and go. It comes with the territory. It doesn't make it right, y'all, but it's just the nature of the beast. I'm not saying he has to be quiet. I'm just saying if you're going to respond, make sure it's very, respond how you respond, but make sure you are clear and you don't have no regrets. You know exactly what points you're coming on. You know exactly what you want to say. And that's 2 times, Funky, that you've hit your button and you haven't been sure. The first time you said you had no intention of talking about that, but there was 7,000 people pressuring you. You know what you do? You stick to your show and you say, y'all, I'm going to come back to that. If you plan on coming, but you don't let somebody drag you out of your element and go down a direction on your platform that you hadn't intended. That's the first thing. And then we find ourselves here 3 months later again. And you started off the conversation. I'll play it. You said, I don't know how I'm going to respond to this regarding Tamar. Then don't. If you really want it to be done, if it really hurts the way you say it hurts. But I do believe, let me see, who is this person? Okay, Music World Wonder says, I'm not going to lie. When Funky came out talking about it, the way he was talking about it didn't look good on his part. And he made me start looking at him like he did do something. I never thought he did anything to Tamar, right?
Right.
Just don't give that. But it seemed very, I don't care what happened to you if something did. And I think that's why people's like, wait a minute now. But hold on, I saw another comment I would like to read if I can find it really quick right here. Herm05G says, I think Dineva knows more than we've received. I believe it grew legs in the Atlanta circle and he wanted to get ahead of it. I think so too. And I think I believe there may have been repercussions of him blogging. And I think there's expectations that frustrates him because they have connections in inner circles. And I think some of the expectations, okay, yeah, gotta echo. Y'all gotta be ready when y'all come up.
Hey,
I
Queen
think some of
Sheba,
the
do I have it?
stay out. I
My
muted
bad.
you for a reason. I'm not ready for you yet. Okay, but y'all gotta be ready when y'all come up. Okay, have everything muted in the background. Kat, I'm not ready for you yet. Hold on, Kat. I'm gonna bring you up and introduce you when I'm ready. But listen, I think there could be a possibility. I think it's tricky for him. I think in one instance, he's a blogger. I think in other instances and circles, he's a friend that blogs. Funky, it's a tough space to be in. You're going to have to do a better job of navigating it so that you're not always upset. Okay?
Can I
Welcome,
say one
Kat.
thing? I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead, Trey.
I just want to say I do agree with this comment that you posted. I believe that he knows more. And I also believe that the first clip that you played where she was talking about Mendeecees is what really set him off more than and then it was the adding on, oh, well, I had a birthday for somebody or I paid for somebody's birthday. That was like the straw. That was the smoke. The fire was the Mendeecees thing. If I'm to believe that he's trying to, gain favor in these circles, and he's hanging out with the quads and the yandies and things of that nature, it more than likely is eating at him that he knows that they were playing around, and
Okay.
that probably might have been what was chewing at his back.
I'm gonna say this. Okay. Give me 1 second, Kat. I'm coming back to you. The reality Grizzly, you make a good point, but I'm gonna push back. You said, I'm sorry, but it appears she used her star power against him. Listen to this very carefully. He pointed his finger in the camera. He said it before and he repeated himself. He said, I done already told you, I'm not like them. Basically, I'm your equal. I don't need you. I don't work for you. I don't depend on your money. I'm not like them. I'm not one of them sissies that hang around you for you to pay for stuff. I don't have to listen to you. I believe when he defied the instructions of the team, because he came in saying, what's up? Get her on the phone. He said that before. They said, we got to wait. She's in the hospital. I think he was offended by the help telling him what to do when he sees her as his equal. From there, going against the grain, it may have led to her using her star power against him. I think it's automatic in those circles. If their team tells you to wait and you don't wait, there's a huge possibility. Kat, welcome. What are your thoughts?
Hey, Queen. Hey, Palace. How are you?
Hey, hey.
Listen, before I talk, I just want real quick, if you're in the Palace and this doesn't apply to you, I promise it'll be quick. I know I'm not a Black woman. And the last time I came up here and tried to talk, somebody was talking ish about me in the chat. She's not a Black woman, et cetera, et cetera. I know that. Thank you for telling me that. And if she didn't want me up here, she
Hold
wouldn't
on,
have called
pause.
them.
Don't do that. Let's go. What are your thoughts? Let me clear them. Go.
Okay,
Don't worry about
so
nothing
thank
else.
you. Okay, look, I realized while listening to you, I wasn't going to call in, but I was thinking to myself, you're seeing this more in a corporate, what is the right way to do things type of way. He's a blogger. He shouldn't have said anything in the first place. I do agree that his circle, Quad and them, they were hitting him up like, what's up? What's up? His chat was sissy this, whatever. That's what he said. We haven't seen that, but that's what he said. So, yeah, I get that. But the thing is, I feel you on, you're a professional, you're on YouTube, you make a good amount of money. Like you said, don't handle things this way. And I think the people disagreeing with you are seeing this in the emotional way. And Funky Dineva doesn't have emotional regulation. That's what I realized. Like he doesn't, do you know what I mean? He doesn't know how to emotionally regulate. Like when you feel these feelings, you don't switch on your phone. That's why I wrote on the chat, he's impulsive because that's what you don't do. You know what I mean? Like if I had 200, however many, I don't know, 500, however many he has, that's the last thing I would do. Like, why would I want to get rid of half of my chat? What if these people love Tamar? But he just doesn't know how to regulate his emotions. So he's wrong. And in a way, she's wrong because why are you cheating? He's okay. Mendeecees is cheating. She's not cheating. But why are you doing this if you don't want people to know in front of this person who obviously is a hot mess and doesn't know how to regulate his emotions? That's my point.
That's a good question. That's Kat, y'all. Very good question. Definitely giving you something to think about it. Thank you, Kat, for coming up. We appreciate you. You're always welcome to come up here. You know that.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Y'all, hell of a conversation today. I hope this is the end of it. I hope it doesn't grow any legs. I hope Tamar, don't respond. It's just, how do we get here? you know, I'm gonna cover it now. If they respond, I'm definitely going to cover it because it is what it is for us. We're not involved in it, but to me, it kind of feels like putting extra whatever on yourself. Tamar, Tamar's in a new relationship. She says she got a good man, Savannah, and I hope you enjoy that. I really do. I hope Funky, I hope you feel better and you're able to close out the year on a high note. And with that being said, thank you everybody for tuning in. Uh-oh, I had to come back real quick, y'all. Thank God I give myself a few extra minutes before I actually end the live. We had a couple of super chats that came in. The real Shanda, thank you for the 20 piece and pepper. She said, is it possible that Tamar has been using Funky as a cover-up to meet with her sneaky leak? Very possible, allegedly. Shanda continues to say, all I know is Tamar's teeth got knocked out and Yandy had a boot on. There's more to this story. Yeah, it could be possible. It could be possible. That's it. That's all. Didn't want to miss that. Thank you for your donation to the channel. We appreciate each and every one of you. All right, it's bye this time. Y'all have a good day.